You will never stand on solid ground again. You are on a plane. The seatbelt sign is off. Then every plane in the sky lands. At once. This is not a landing. It is a stampede. A 24,000-ton Boeing 787 does not descend. It shears. Its wings clip a Manhattan skyscraper. The fuselage buckles. Your seat rips forward. Your spine compresses. Your ribs puncture your lungs. Then the fuel tanks rupture. But you are already dead. The sound kills you first. The sonic boom of 100,000 landing gears deploying. It is not a crack. It is a physical wall. Your eardrums shred. Then your alveoli. The air sacs in your lungs tear open. You drown in your own blood. Before the fireball. Here's the thing. You're thinking about the crashes. The fireballs over cities. The wings slicing through suburbs. That's not the disaster. That's just the opening act. The real problem starts when they all stop moving. Let's talk physics. A commercial airliner's landing gear. It is not gentle. It is a hydraulic piston slamming into concrete. That force has to go somewhere. Now, multiply it by every active flight. Right now. We have to define sky. The FAA's traffic map. It shows roughly 10,000 planes airborne, globally, at any given moment. But that's just commercial. Add in cargo, private jets, military patrols, agricultural sprayers, the little Cessnas. The actual number is closer to 20,000. All of them get one command. Land. Immediately. The nearest runway. Or field. Or highway. Or you. Precision scaling. A Boeing 777. It needs about 2 kilometers of tarmac. There are maybe 2,000 runways that can handle it. Worldwide. The math doesn't work. It's a traffic jam. In 3 dimensions. Descending into 2. So they start stacking. A layer cake of metal. Over every major airport. Heathrow. O'Hare. Dubai. Atlanta. The first 10 planes? Maybe they land. The next 50? They land on the first 10. Domestic contrasting. Your kitchen window wouldn't just break. The shockwave from the first mid-air collision. 3 miles up. It would cook the eggs on your counter. Then, the front wall of your house arrives. As shrapnel. Carried by a 400-knot wind. Chaos is too soft a word. This is synchronized demolition. Every flight path. Every altitude. Converges. At the ground. Simultaneously. Let's talk about the fuel. Aviation kerosene. An average long-haul flight carries 50,000 gallons. Times 20,000 planes. That's 1 billion gallons. In the air. Right now. It all comes down. Most of it ignites. The firestorm would be geographic. Not urban. Continental. A ring of pure flame. Circling the planet. Along every major flight corridor. The North Atlantic track. The Trans-Pacific routes. They become rivers of fire. Pouring from the sky. But let me throw something at you. The impact craters. A 200-ton aircraft hitting dirt at 200 knots. It doesn't just crumple. It excavates. It creates a crater 30 meters wide. Now picture 500 of those. Within a 50-kilometer radius of JFK Airport. The Long Island water table. It's about 2 meters down. All those crinters? They puncture it. Saltwater geysers erupt through jet wreckage, flushing avgas into the aquifers. Then the secondary collapses begin. The grid goes first. Every major power line near an airport, sheared by falling tails. Substations crushed. Nuclear plants? They need a constant flow of coolant, delivered by grid power, or dedicated lines, which are now under a 747. The reactors scram. The backup diesel generators start. And then a wing section tears through the generator hall. Because of course it does. You get about 72 hours of modern society. After that, no water pressure. No refrigeration. No sewage pumps. The hospitals still standing? They are now triage centers. For burns. For crush injuries. For smoke inhalation. With no medicine. And no power. Here's the dark twist. The survivors. The people in remote villages. In deep bunkers. On submarines. They face a different problem. A moral chasm. The sky is now clear. For the first time in a century. No contrails. No engine hum. Just silence. And a world on fire. They also face a logistical void. Every global supply chain. It is built around air freight, perishables, pharmaceuticals, high-tech components. It evaporates overnight. A container ship can't replace a 747. The port of Los Angeles? It's buried under a mountain of smoldering aluminum. From LAX. The microscale is genuinely insane. Consider the data. The black boxes. The flight recorders. 20,000 of them. All pinging. All broadcasting their final coordinates. On the same frequency. The locator beacon spectrum. It becomes white noise. A solid wall of electronic screams. Rescue teams can't find any of them. Or the animals. Migratory birds. They follow flight paths. Using the Earth's magnetic field. Which is now scrambled. By 10 million tons of scattered ferrous metal. Burning. Their internal compasses spin. They fly into the still smoking wrecks. Or just fall out of the sky. Exhausted. And lost. Deadpan understatement time. On the plus side. Carbon emissions drop to zero. For about a week. Then the forest fires start. From all the crashes in remote areas. And they burn for months. Let's zoom out. To the macro loop. The primary industry that dies. It's not aviation. It's insurance. The global financial system is built on risk pools. This event, it is the definition of correlated risk. Every policy triggers. At once. The claims would exceed global GDP. By a factor of 10. Money stops having meaning. The markets don't crash. They simply cease to exist. Then the geopolitical triggers. A military transport plane. Carrying nuclear command codes. It goes down in a hostile border region. An AWACS radar plane crashes into the sea. Its sensitive electronics wash ashore. We don't know where. Or with who. Every nation's air force is grounded. Because their runways are blocked. By their own wreckage. Strategic uncertainty becomes absolute. In that vacuum. Mistakes get made. Very loud, very final mistakes. The anthropological lens. We built this. The sky was empty. We filled it with metal. And logic. And schedules. We assumed the system was robust. It wasn't. It was a house of cards. Balanced on continuous motion. The moment everything stopped moving, the whole thing collapsed. Not from the top down. From the outside in. Your last thought. Strapped into seat 32A. Wouldn't be about the impact. It would be about the silence. The engines spool down. The cabin lights flicker. And for 3 seconds, there is perfect quiet. No announcements. No crying babies. Just the wind. And then the ground arrives. If you enjoyed this, like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.